All right, cool. Great. Yeah, thanks everybody who's joining this. We're going to record this as well so we can send it out to all of our campers and Centercourt families. Want to do a quick intro on this call. We have, as everybody probably knows, Coach Conrad. We have Coach Cinto, Coach Adrian, and Coach Tim. I'm missing. Oh, and Coach Tamar is here as well. We're going to give an overview of our various tennis camps, the tennis summer camps that we're running at the club. I'm going to let the coaches do most of the talking, but that is the main goal. We're going to take some questions at the end as well. If everybody could obviously make sure they are muted, and then we'll unmute. Yeah, we need everybody to be muted, and then we'll unmute later on if we have questions. With that, I'm going to throw it over to Coach Conrad Singh, our tennis CEO, and thanks everybody again for joining.
Okay, thanks, Ari. I appreciate everyone making the time to join us. We've got people from all over, local, and I see some friends from abroad. So thank you, everyone, for making the time. Our objective today is first to talk about our performance summer camps and our junior development tennis camps at Chatham, and to answer any questions that anyone might have. I might suggest that you type those questions into the chat, and we can certainly revisit the answers at the end. We'll get all of our leaders to speak in a moment about the camps, but essentially, look, an introduction on these camps is we'll be doing 12 weeks of summer camps this year, starting from June the 12th and ending at the end of August. So those 12 weeks are dynamic, intense, hard work, and a lot of fun for the kids that are involved. One of the questions I get all the time, and I wanted to hit it off straight from the start, is what are the differences between summer camps at Centercourt and the regular program during the year? And the answer to that is quite simply, we are fully aware that it is summertime and the kids are going to be on site from 9 a.m. till 4 p.m., often in very difficult, challenging, hot conditions, particularly if you're a performance player, as opposed to a normal training night where most of the players are training 2 hours on court and one fitness. They're basically doing double that volume during summer. So that being said, we're also well aware that the kids are in summer break, and we do want them to have a good time, have fun, meet friends, and interact with other kids. So that element is certainly something that we shine a little bit more, the interaction, the fun element. But now talking specifically about performance, we're obviously trying to give young participants as much individualized attention within a group as we can. That's obviously difficult to do, but one of our specialties is that we find a way to do that. The 4 facilities that we'll be using are the Florham Park facility, which are what we're calling our regional camps level. Okay, that's kind of the GBE level and the lowest level or after school performance third bubble level. Our second level of camps will be at Gillette, and that level is our sectional level of camps, which is, if you think of our after school program, pretty much our second bubble. Kids who go from second to first bubble. Our third level of camps will be trying to run at Drew University most weeks. We're definitely doing 8 of the 12 weeks at Drew, and that is for what we call our national level and elite level players. And the fourth level, we basically utilize 4 courts at our Chatham facility for match play in the afternoons. So it's a little complicated, a little bit difficult to explain at one moment. The groups are cut week by week based exclusively on UTR. So we're aware that there are kids whose skill level may be higher than their UTR, but we need a system, and the system that we use is UTR. So that's something I need to be very clear about right from the start. The days start at 9 o'clock. They finish at 4 o'clock. Players obviously need to come and be ready. The Florham Park is indoor. All other facilities are outdoor camps. That's important to note. Obviously, heat factors, sun, water, hats, sun cream, all those things are important. But ultimately, what is our goal is, some kids are going to do 1 week only. Some kids are going to do 7 weeks. Some kids are going to do 5 weeks. Some kids are traveling, playing tournaments in between camps. So everyone on a Monday is kind of starting in a different position. And so it's very important that we all understand our objective is that the individuals are improving within a group. And, they'll have their own individual needs. Some might need more serve work. Some might need more backhand work. Whatever that is, the coaches will work that out very early in the piece. We use a whiteboard to write down each kid's name, each kid's individual needs for that week. And we're obviously trying to work on those as much as we can. So that's a broad stroke introduction to the camps. Obviously, we've had over the 7 years I've been here, we've had some absolutely incredible players, from players who are competing at the US Open down to young champions that are 7, 8 years old that are starting. We get a lot of players from outside of the immediate Centercourt Academy. We get a lot of players coming in to try the program from other areas. I know we've got players coming from Turkey, from Africa, from China, from Japan, from all over, including other parts of America. So it is a great opportunity for kids to play with other kids, to meet other kids, and definitely to make big improvements as they have a lot of time to do that, Monday to Fridays. So Ari, without further ado, I'll pass to you, and I think we should possibly start with the JDP camps there.
Sounds good. Yeah, good stuff. Okay, so I'm going to go over a day in the life of the JDP camps, and I'm going to hand it over to Cinto, who's going to talk more about the on-court expectations and what the coaches and kids will do. The tennis camp in Chatham is run, the general day is 9 to 4. For red ball kids, which are the 8 and under kids, we offer half-day option. Everybody else is a full-day option. Drop-off is between 8 and 9 a.m. The kids are on court playing games, learning, doing a mix. Red ball is run by Coach Todd. Orange ball is run by Coach Cinto and Adam. Green and yellow ball is run by Coach Jose. Everybody that is on our tennis staff, for the most part, we have counselors that help, but they're mostly full-time staff, so which is a huge benefit for the kids. 9 to 12, they're on court. They break for lunch at around 12 o'clock. They will go, they'll have lunch indoors. They will go to the pool. They are allowed to swim. They don't have to, but they can certainly swim. We have a mini Olympic sized pool. We have 2 water slides, a bunch of other activities for the kids to do as well if they don't want to swim. Ping pong, tetherball, a couple others. That's the middle of the day. That's their break. And then the full day kids will come back from 1:30 to around 3:30, 3:45. They're going to play more tennis, and then they will get ready for dismissal. Yeah, that's your general day. We're going to have additional activities as well. We're going to have some elective options for the kids if they want to do a ropes course or if they want to do some ninja. But it's going to be, primarily tennis that they're playing in the tennis camp. So they'll get about, 5.5 hours on court per day. That's really all I have. I'll give some information on how to register, how to change your weeks or all that kind of stuff. I'll give that at the end. That's not really what we want to do here. But for that, I'm going to hand it over to Coach Cinto, who's going to, kind of give everybody the fun stuff of what they're learning throughout the day in our junior tennis camp. One more thing, our red and orange ball kids are indoors all the time. So they're air conditioned, nice and cool. Our green and yellow ball kids are training outdoors. If it rains, they come inside, but that's the basic structure. So the younger kids are inside, the older kids are outside. All right, Coach Cinto, over to you.
All right, thank you, Ari, for the introduction. I want to talk about what are the goals on court of these JDP camps. Definitely what I want to say is that the goal of the JDP camp is not to entertain the kids. We are a development camp. And for that, we have created a specific weekly curriculum where each day we work in a different technical theme. And how we divide the day on court is on the morning, we focus on the technique, the key points on every day, a different technical theme. And then in the afternoon session, we turn it more into a game-based session with some parts of competition. And then we progress the week in a way that on Friday, the last day, we turn it more into like the last competitive day, because one of the goals that we have for these camps is that to hook the kids into competition, which is a key for a young kid to develop into a good tennis player, is that to enjoy the competition aspect of the game. So we are very clear on our weekly themes and our daily themes and the goals, what we want to see on the kids. And we want the kids to have fun and at the same time to learn, or if they already have the skills, to develop those skills to another level. And we are all in for it. We are super excited to start these camps. And I hope that after summer, every kid that joined these JDP camps, they feel an improvement that sets them for a better season after summer. So if later there's any questions, guys, that's what I have for you.
All right, awesome. Conrad, do you want to take over from here or hand it over to Coach Adrian or Tim?
Yeah, before we go to Coach Adrian, it's just very important. Coach Cinto, I think we want to highlight that, you know, over many years go by, a lot of players that commit to summer camps start the summer in one position, and we see them after 8 weeks or 10 weeks in a completely different position. Summer is an opportunity to really accelerate and fast track your child's development. And in a sport like tennis, where volume is just so critical, it is a time that you really want to try to use. So if you're planning your camps at the JDP level, I would suggest trying to cluster them together. So you might do 3 weeks in a row and then take 2 or 3 weeks or 4 weeks off and then come back and do them in a row, as opposed to doing one on, one off, one on, one off, which a lot of people think might be better. But actually, from a development standpoint, we don't see that. So that would be one advice for the JDP camps. I think one of the highlights of the JDP camps, having been here, is the facility is so well managed. We got so many staff that, you know, the players are very well looked after. The menu, I think, is phenomenal. Chef Ron does an outstanding job of the meals. There's an allocated area. This year, it's going to be court 1 on the indoor courts, the far left court. That is going to be like a food hall, if you like. There'll be no activities in there. And on court 2, there will be like a mixed sports area set up for kids to be able to do other things, some basketball, some football, play some different games while they're kind of moving through various areas. So yeah, it's an unbelievable camp, the JDP camp. We've seen some huge developments. And as you highlighted, Ari, all our full-time coaches are there running those programs, and it's just a sensation to see. Coach Todd running his Red Ball programs. This year we have a designated area for that, which is phenomenal. 8 Red Ball courts. Absolutely going to be a great summer. So without any further ado, I might pass on to Coach Adrian, who obviously takes care of the camps that are going to be at Gillette and at Drew. Some afternoons, some of the kids are selected to go to Chatham to do some supervised match play. Before Adrian goes off, one of the main reasons we've added this year Drew University with the 8 world-class outdoor hard courts is because we recognize the importance of the kids playing matches and being able to play matches and being able to actually go out and compete and have coaches watch them and give them feedback live. I know a lot of kids are very excited by that. So Coach Adrian, I'll pass it over to you.
Thank you, Conrad, for the intro. Yeah, the performance camps over the last 6-7 years that I've been part of them, like Conrad underlined, it becomes a great opportunity for specifically competitive players that go from anywhere between high 2 UTR, perhaps the newer competitors, towards literally national level 11s or 12 UTR numbers. Players of all these different shades of levels have the opportunity to improve their competitiveness, obviously their game, their results. There are tournaments almost every weekend. offered by Centercourt and the USTA and many other, UTR matches, etc. So these kids can really fast track not only their level, but also their rankings, their competitive level, their results. And we've seen very good results. The way we try to achieve that is by providing, it's a very dynamic curriculum, but so at some point in the midsummer, we have different levels of tournaments. So we might have clay court nationals, right, in mid-July, and then later in the summertime, we have hard courts. And so depending what those commitments are, some of our players are entering this tournament. So we assign them to the different location where we have that type of court. And we do have a curriculum, a weekly curriculum, where each day we work on a different skill set. So for instance, on Mondays we're gonna work on forehands, everything related to an aggressive forehand. On Tuesday we might do that for backhands. On Wednesday for coming to the net game. On Thursdays we might do like specialty shots, like passing shots, overheads, drop shots, slices, etc. And then on Friday we try to do a mix of games where kids have the opportunity to try all these different skills in a game-based scenario. So players that attend on every week, some kids start their summer in July, some of them early June, some of them will be with us for some weeks and then leave and then come back. No matter what their schedules are, that week where they're with us, they will be better ready for that weekend commitment. In addition to that, we leave room, and a lot of our summer camp students, in addition to that, they add private lessons where they can also work on individual needs, getting them better ready for whatever commitment. The vast majority of the players that might not qualify to national level tournaments, there's always an L6 and L5 tournament, the USTA local tournaments, and many of them compete and they get better ready for it. And again, each week might be a little different. They communicate with us. We try to make it as individualized. They might be having a clay court weekend tournament. We can see that some of them might have a hardcore weekend tournament. We are in constant communication with the players, and like Conrad said, because we have all these different facilities available to us, we're able to send competitive matches in the afternoons to the surface where they can be better ready for this coming weekend. But yeah, it's been great. We're very much looking forward every summer to receive, in addition to our local campers, we also get some international players of different levels, some with more or less experience, and it really enlightens what the local kids experience as well, because they get to see often how very experienced, high level, the kids that are getting ready for US Open tournaments, they often stop by and train with us for a couple of weeks before that commitment. And so a lot of our own players either train with them or can be around that experience, and it just really enriches what their summer camp means. But that's all I have for you guys, Conrad. If any questions with regards the specific of the summer camp, you can always contact me, Adrian Contreras, here at Centercourt.
Thanks a lot, Adrian. Very detailed. I really appreciate that. One thing before I pass to Coach Tim, one thing I wanted to really highlight, Adrian mentioned the private lessons, and I can tell you that a lot of kids, the camps start at 9 o'clock. So a lot of people looking for privates will get one at 7 or 8 in the morning before the camps. Some of them will take lessons at lunchtime, some of them immediately after the camps, depending on the coach. So they're the slots, generally speaking, that private lessons are booked. We obviously have all of those booked through the front desk as always. The other supplementary programs that we have that I think really highlight Centercourt as a completely different location for camps are we have a lot of specialized events during the week. So when we have kids coming from overseas, they're able to play 2 or 3 UTR matches during the week. All summers we've had UTR events that run on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, where we either have 4 players, 6 players, 12 players. We've been able to customize, and that's something that we're really proud of, and we really gives us a point of difference. The number of USTA tournaments we have at Centercourt and in the immediate area are a real feature. So if you're coming for 4 weeks, you could play an event pretty much every weekend. Other things I think are a highlight, we also have a languages program where some people are coming from abroad and English is what they need, or some people are looking to go to college and they need to sharpen up on their English tools. We have all these things available. Within the programs themselves, especially at the Florham Park regional performance camp level, we have a mental program that we embedded into the program. It's Mentally Tough Tennis by Dr. Anthony Ross. We also utilize special footwork programs. There's a lot of off-court skill development. We have a TV in the lobby where we often do some charting. We'll watch some matches and have kids sort of recognize and notice different things. And that's kind of what I wanted to highlight about performance camps in summer. We have more time. So we're able to do things that we're generally not able to do, over efficiently in the after-school program. Things like video analysis, the iPads are out and kids are learning how their serves look. We're comparing kids all the time, their serve to one of the pros they like, and showing them visually what it is that they can really improve. So I think all of that are real features of the summer camps. Other than that, what I'm going to do right now, if I can, is pass over to Coach Tim Clifford, who's our Director of Strength and Conditioning. Tim's been with Centercourt forever, and he's absolutely the best physical trainer that I've ever worked with, and he's developed some of our top athletes. So, Tim, what is it that you're looking for in the summertime?
Thank you so much, Coach. This is going to be my 14th summer camp with the company. I'm finishing up my 13th year here. It's a program that I'm obviously very familiar with, and I've developed over the years, and just kind of honed it each year to try to make it a little bit better, depending on the locations that we're at and the kids that are obviously in front of us. But one of the things I did kind of want to point out, because I've heard Coach Conrad mention this a few times, in that this program is going to be very different from our after-school programs. But some of you may know, Coach Adrian and myself, under the supervision and collaboration with Coach Conrad and Coach Cinto, do run a full-time academy that takes place here at Chatham. And when we roll into summer camp, it's basically like running our full-time program. It's just pretty much the next week, it's just a different set of kids. So like we already have a schedule, we already have a program. Coach already has his weeks laid out. I already have my weeks laid out in terms of what's going to be going on. So this is a program that if your kid is going to be first stepping into it, it's a pretty well-oiled machine at this point. In terms of the fitness week, on Mondays and Wednesdays are going to be our resistance training days. Depending on the location that you're at, that's going to mean a few different things. For our younger kids, obviously, it's very, very much band and body weight oriented. For our older kids, it's going to be a bit more intense, but I will talk a little bit more about that at the end. On our Tuesdays is our conditioning day. So that's generally going to relate something around running. We do different styles of running because tennis players are very lateral based sport movement. So we will try to spend some months mimicking that type of motion, the back and forth. And then we will spend weeks where we're looking at more of like a track style run to build that anaerobic base of the athletes. On Thursday is more of our movement-based day. That's our agility, that's our speed, that's our power motions. This will all be laid out pretty much in 3 to 3.5 week blocks throughout the entire summer. They usually come in focusing on linear speed. We usually will then transition into a lateral change of direction and then some sort of power-based motion towards the end of summer when we're a bit more familiar with most of the kids' movements. On Fridays is the recovery day for the kids, because obviously it is a very long week, especially if you have not done a full summer camp week ever. So we'll do a recovery for 35, 40 minutes, and then we usually like to finish them up with games. usually competition based, usually skill based. You know, we're not just going to go out and play soccer or something like that. You know, it's going to be hand-eye coordination stuff. It's going to be movement based. It's going to be competition. They're going to be competing either in teams, individually, but something that gets them to finish their week on a fun note, but is also still competitive based, and gets them to, you know, to compete against one another, because that's what these kids are here to do. Beyond that, I would just kind of want to add to the end of that, for our higher level kids, the international kids that are coming over, especially the older ones, we do offer post camp additional resistance training and strength training days that usually take place at our Morristown facility. They're booked like private sessions, and if we do get high volume, we will try to group kids that are similar levels, or if there's a whole group of international kids coming over, we'll try to group them into sessions where we can do a bit more advanced strength training than can be done at most of the summer camp facilities. And that's pretty much all I have. And obviously, if there's any questions, I'm open to answer anything.
Coach, that's terrific. And one of the points I'd make about summertime, and you just highlighted our Morristown facility. It's an absolutely incredible fitness institution down there, and seeing what the players are able to do in that environment, and also at Gillette in the big open spaces we have, it's been really awesome. And I've seen a lot of players that have started the summer, let's just say, not necessarily big fans of physical training, finish the summer really confident and really strong. So that's something that I know you guys encourage a lot. The mental discipline behind training. Yourself and Coach Andrew, I've seen a lot of, especially the younger ones, where we're really teaching them how to train, as well as becoming better and fitter and stronger. It's also how to apply themselves, which a lot of kids struggle with. So that's really what we have for you right now. The only two other points I wanted to add, if I could, was that Drew University facility, one of the reasons we really wanted to add that is to have outdoor hard courts, because it is a really important surface here in America. And, you know, the players are all going to get an opportunity to play on outdoor hard courts, which is absolutely fantastic. Switching note a little bit, talking more about now food, nutrition, what do we offer? Because obviously lunches are a part of the program. Chef Ron, who's our own Centercourt chef here, I've just had him just an hour ago in the office, and we went through the real detail on what we're looking for. And obviously healthy food is something that we really want to stress. We've talked a lot about, you know, wraps and kind of, you know, really good vegetarian options. So you're going to be looking at, kids are going to have the ability to be able to build their own lunches. If you like, sub style, they're going to be able to build sort of wraps and sandwiches through turkey, roast beef, ham, tuna. The vegetarian options will be falafel, veggie wraps, California garden burgers. We're going to have everyday available salads, mixed greens, Caesars, with chicken available on the side. If people are after that, we'll have pasta salads, potato salads. Friday's kind of the fun day, where Chef Ron on Fridays gets into, he has his pizza day, which again, anyone who's got any gluten issues or anything like that, just let us know and we can cater to that. There are no nuts involved in any of the food that we offer. Beverages available other than water will be Powerade and Gatorade. There'll be little snacks available for some of the younger kids that want to enjoy, and there'll be fresh fruit cups available every day. So, you know, we really wanted to kind of stress that side. I know here at Chatham, the food hall, if you like, on Court 1, that's going to be incredible. There's a whole range of food, and the menus are really set. So that's about all I've got for you, Ari. Are there any questions at this time that anyone might have?
Yeah, there's one question in before we'll get to those for a couple of minutes. Sorry if it gets loud, we're getting taken over by kids. Just some of the back end stuff. If you want to register for the performance camp, that goes through Coach Ming, so you can just get in touch with Coach Ming. You know, any questions about moving weeks, changing, anything regarding performance camp, that would be great. Anything for the junior camp goes through myself. Our registration for the junior tennis camp is through the website. centercourtacademy.com. But if you do have questions about moving weeks, certain timings, adding aftercare, transportation, just anything at all, that would go to myself. With that, we'll take some questions here. I have a couple already in. I'm going to throw them out, and then Conrad, you could see who should be answering them. Please discuss the main differences between the green ball camp at Chatham versus GBE at Florham Park.
Cinto, do you want to take that, or do you want me to take that? Okay, I'll take that. So the biggest thing you have to understand is to be in the GBE camp at Florham Park, you need to be invited, or you need to be in our GBE program, meaning we won't accept registrations of anyone that's in a program other than Edge. You can't just register for Edge. So that's the first one. The second one, if you'd like to be tested or trialed to see if you fit into the GBE camp, then that's possible. Please let us know. We'll let you come to a GBE session, and Coach Tamar, who's our lead coach, she'll make that call. The biggest differences are that GBE kids are already performance players. So if you're a GBE candidate, you're already played through the Orange Ball USTA progressions. You're probably in the Green Ball stage. You might have already played 1 or 2 UTR matches. So the level of GBE players is really much different to Green Ball players. Standard Green Ball players are probably still at that stage of hitting 3 balls, 4 balls over the net. They're definitely struggling with their serve. They're definitely struggling to return and keep score. So that's how we define the difference. But ultimately, to be in a GBE camp, you need to be invited. You can't just register for the camp.
Cool. All right. And then question about Yellow Ball Performance Camp. Is Yellow Ball Performance Camp at Florham Park too? Or I know you went, let's go over like the Yellow Ball Performance kids, how that's broken down real quick one more time.
Okay, so I'll take that if that's all right. The Yellow Ball Performance Camp, guys, let's be very, very clear. Yellow Ball camps at Chatham are for high school advantage level players. These are kids who are very much just trying to make their high school team. They're not competing at USTL 6, L5, L4 level even. That would be as far as players are at the Florham Park facility that are in the Yellow Ball Performance Camp. So if you're a kid who really likes tennis, you're taking lots of lessons and you hope to get better, but you're not yet competing at that regional level of USTA tournaments, you would not qualify or be the right person to go to the Yellow Ball camps at Florham Park. The Yellow Ball camps that we have here at Chatham are really good. I mean, the players there are all making their high school teams. There's a lot of game-based development there. They're working on singles basic strategies. They're working on how to beat different types of kids, lots of doubles placement. The kids there are really working on trying to develop rallies versus a performance player. We're working more on, pretty much a game style. We're trying to get them to understand how they should play the game. They've already got some type of mastery over the skills. Obviously, there are areas that need to keep improved. They're still very young, but generally speaking, the defining difference is going to be the level of competitive tennis that they're currently playing at.
Awesome. I have a couple more about GB, but I can grab these. And then I don't know if Tamar wants to jump in, but the times for the GBE camp, as well as all the performance camps, correct me if I'm wrong, but they're 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. They take a lunch break, obviously, in the middle of the day, but the times are 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. If you're going to drop them off or need to pick them up late, we need prior notice so we can, prepare for that. And then do you want to go over a quick GBE day in the life, how that works?
Yeah, no problem. So what I could share a screen if you'd like me to. Let me see if that's going to work. 1 second. Can everyone see that screen? Yes. Okay. So this is basically the GBE Regional Yellow Ball Performance Camp at Florham Park. Okay, this is how it's pretty much broken down. Mondays, we're looking at an all-court theme. We're introducing different footwork methods, different mental toughness methods. We're making sure that we go through all players' technical fundamentals. The coaches are making notes of who needs what, of what areas are really important in terms of priority of development in that week. Obviously, Tuesdays we're focusing on forehands with stance, real focus on stance understanding. Serve technicals are involved on Tuesdays. Wednesdays we're looking at the front of court skills, so volleys, overheads. We do a mental toughness session for those kids that are registered for that, which could be off court or on court. We have different drills we do there too. Thursdays, we're looking more at kind of movement patterns with return of serve. So what we call the DNA of tennis: defense, neutral, and attack. And again, obviously at the different levels, we're teaching a lot of this. We're using a lot of visuals, TV screens, whiteboards, etc. Fridays is a great day. I know my kids absolutely love Friday because they play a Davis Cup day. It's like a team competition after they've done the morning session. We do competitive skills. We have an end of week award ceremony. We have a player of the week. And it's a great system. So that we follow that format for both GBE and for regional yellow ball. Again, 9 o'clock till 4 o'clock. We have had weeks where we've had a huge number of kids and we split the schedule and changed the time slightly. But generally speaking, the players are going to have a couple hours on court in the morning. Then they're going to have a short break. They're going to have their lunch. Then they're going to go back on court, have another couple of hours. And obviously we have a fitness session. It's either in the morning or it's going to be just after lunch, depending on the group and the week. But it's a very busy day, and it's kids leave there fulfilled and definitely improved. The fact that it's indoors really helps those younger kids to concentrate, I think, for the whole day. And it's really a wonderful camp. It's been very successful.
I think those are all the questions we have. So yeah, let's wrap it up. I think we kept within our 45 minutes. Yeah, again, please reach out to Conrad and myself for really any questions about the camp, how to register, where you're supposed to be, times, just really anything at all. We'll get right back to you, we promise.
If I can just answer one quick question that I see down there. Kids moving from GBE to yellow ball bronze. Guys, I want to be really clear. You can't move your own child to a program. You need to be cleared by that lead coach. Every summer we have this problem with GBE kids. The parents automatically try to register them for performance, and it just does not work like that. They need to be ready. Some kids are ready. Some kids are not ready. Coach Tamar, Coach Cinto, myself, we have a list of the kids who are ready to go. We will tell you guys that you need to register for the yellow ball. And it's not called bronze. Please don't use those words anymore. Yellow ball bubble 3 level, which is the regional camp level at Florham Park. So if you have a question and you'd like to know what do I register for, just simply hit us with a quick text and we'll get back to you immediately.
All right, cool. That's yeah, let's wrap it up. And thanks to everybody for joining, and obviously thanks for all the coaches for being on the call. Yeah, I mean, we're looking forward to an unbelievable summer. We're, like I said, we added Drew University this summer. We're always adding more activities at Chatham. Camps do start to fill up towards mid-May, especially beginning of June. So please try and register as early as you know your schedule. We're usually flexible if you do need to move weeks. But we do want, we want to make sure that nobody's closed out. All right, so I'll pass it over to Conrad to finish up.
Yeah, so guys, if you got any other questions or you'd like a phone call, please reach out to myself. I'll put my number in the chat. Send me a text. I'm happy to have a 15-minute call if that's what you need. If you need something more detailed, please let me know. We can have a sit down. We're more than happy to help out with any individual requests you might have. But now's the time to really get organized and registered, because we do have limited spots. That's something we want to stress. We don't have, an open roster where we're not going to cut off registrations. I know that some weeks in July, for example, for performance are already getting very, very full. So I would ask you to please get moving quickly. If your kids are in Florham Park, Gillette, Drew, or Chatham in the afternoons, that's performance, and you'll need to register with Ming, M-I-N-G, Ming at centercourtclub.com. If the kids are going to be at Chatham, they're in any of the Rogie programs or high school Yellow Bowl, the registration will be with Ari, A-R-I, Ari at centercourtclub.com. Look forward to seeing everyone, guys. Thanks a lot for your time. Really appreciate it. Thank you, coaches. I know that was hard for you to cut out that time, so I really appreciate it.